Well, hello everybody. Glad you're here with me today, whether it's during the live session or on replay. Remember, I love to hear from you, so feel free to make comments or ask questions below. Love to hear from you, so don't hesitate. Don't be shy. Um, been doing this online now for almost will be 2 years in January, and so there's a lot of good information here, more to come. And so make sure that when you're searching for a specific topic, that you click on the little magnifying glass that's on my channel here, and then do put a keyword in there, something that you're looking for, and it will bring up videos in that arena. Okay, so just so you know, I'm the author of Legal Break-In, a book available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. That is what I call the first step. When you're looking at this field for the first time, you're just beginning, you don't have a confidence on whether you should be in it or not, or a good feeling like, I don't know if this is what I should be doing. That book will give you an insider's view into what the career is like. And then the second step after that is get on the wait list for my course called Paralegal Inner Circle. There are more classes coming up soon, but for now, that's my mega course. And that one has 38 to 39 videos, many downloadable PDFs, and a private Facebook group for that one, okay? And that will be launching in January again. I only launch it 2 to 3 times a year so that we have a group starting at the same time. And that works great that way with having had lots of experience in running this particular course. That's the way that works really well. Questions, comments, just get on the wait list or go over to my website at lesliesansonewilliams.com, and I'll post a link. You can look at just, I think in yesterday's video or the one before, you can look in the description box right below, and you'll see links to the book, the class, and also there's a help there that I recommend to learn more of the legal language, and it's a laminated pamphlet that Amazon sells, and I would highly recommend that you get that pamphlet if you're interested in the paralegal field, okay? All right, so let's get to the subject matter, running the good race. We have choices as we go forward. One of the choices is, do you belong in this career? That's why getting the book is important, for finding out, what is this really like? Am I suited for it? Do you have a peace about going after this career? Because God will give you a peace about whether or not you're going down the path that He set out for you. You will have a calmness about it, and you'll know you're in the right place as you start to move forward, not as you sit back and just as an observer, but as you start moving forward. And sometimes it takes putting your toe in the water and going into the career before you know whether it's for you or not. My husband had a very close friend, and we both worked with this gentleman who became a chemical engineer and worked in it for several years and then just was not happy. And it turned out he wanted to be a lawyer like his dad the whole time. And he became a lawyer, and he's been a lawyer for, geez, probably 3 decades now. But that is where he became the happiest, that he was running his own race. Now, God has a path and a purpose for you. He has before you were even thought of coming into this world. And so He has that laid out for you. You are unique. You have unique qualities and gifts. And if no one's ever told you that before, you do. Hey, how are you? Okay, Cock, how are you? Keep going forward, because it's not that the answer is going to be dropped in your lap. You will know as you go forward, just like this gentleman had to do. It's not that you have to work in it many years, but he was rebelling against letting it go. See, he was refusing to listen to that still small voice that was saying, this is not your path. This is not where you should be. And he hung on to the chemical engineering job, where my husband knew from the time he was young, and not everybody has this, as far as knowing when you're young, um, to what your path is. But my husband knew what his was. I certainly did not. Oh, I lost your comment. It kind of stays up for just a few seconds and then disappears. Say hello again, K-Hawk, and it'll pop back up. Um, and I'll see it. And then I'll try to grab it. One of the things that, the first job that I had, I ended up with a mentor attorney and a mentor paralegal. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect to have that. And so, oh my gosh, you have snow there. Yikes. Yeah, we're far from that in Florida, but it's only now that the temperature is starting to change and it's cooling off. And I used to laugh when I moved from Chicago to Oklahoma and then Oklahoma to Florida. I laughed at how people in Florida would put on parkas when it hit 55 or 60 even, because they were so used to the high humidity, and you're used to that tropical temperature and humidity, that when it gets cold, it feels colder than it is. But that was funny to me because I was coming from a much colder climate, of course, in Chicago, and then Oklahoma's pretty chilly in the winter, and then I was raised in New Jersey. So anyway, I'm glad you're doing well. But snow, I guess it's pretty typical. We used to hope for snow around Thanksgiving when I was in New Jersey, and we could almost depend on it in Chicago. So one of the things, running the good race, is not only learning about your path and your purpose and trying to discover that, which is actually, if you take a different take, you have a different outlook on it, different attitude towards that, exploration can be fun. It can be frustrating because you want to be more stable, you want to feel settled, but sometimes there are reasons why you're not. And there were, when I was in the job with corporate that I've talked about, that was not a good job. I was wanting to hang on to that because I didn't want people to think that I couldn't hang on to a job. See, I was worried about what people thought. But all that time, God was moving me out, and he was going to place me in the legal field in the next job, which I would stay in for 28 and a half years. So, I was wanting to hang on, and I finally had to give it up. And I wanted, like, maybe my husband to say, it's okay to leave, but I had to make that determination myself. And I hadn't ever been through anything like that before, so it was learning. But what I saw at that place was, hey, is this Jemiah? Yay, how are you? Thanks for being here. I had to listen to that still small voice to move out of there and went into legal. Then I had to listen again when it was time to get out of a job that, within the legal field. It's time to go. It's time to change. Certain things he was teaching me I did not have to put up with. That my running the race did not mean that I had to be miserable in my job. Are you listening to this? You do not have to be miserable in your job, and you do not have to put up with people who are flat out nasty or evil, which was the corporate job for me. And there were legal jobs too over these 28.5 years that I needed to remove myself from, extricate myself from, so I could run that race. I had to continue running my race through a horrific tragedy in my life with the loss of a loved one, a dear one. Had to run a race where I would be proud of how I treated people. And that is the race I want. And I wanted God to be, happy with my performance within my job, the work that I did, but also how I treated my coworkers. And that when I had a chance to turn maybe something around within the law firm that wasn't operating correctly, that I had a part in it, and that was my place in that law firm to do that. And then it came a time within one particular law firm, after being there for a couple years, it was time for me to leave. There was a new phase of my life happening and a new type of work. So I had to trust in what God had for me and submit to His will and understand that He had my best interest at heart when other people did not. I mean, why would somebody else have my best interest at heart? Now, my mentors did, but those are far and few between. And you become a mentor. You should be open to that as you get your sea legs, as you become more knowledgeable. It's not that, I've been in a position where my workload was so heavy and they wanted me to train somebody, and I really did not have the time. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm glad that you got that interview at the courthouse. Bravo. Kudos. Kudos. Thank goodness. Yay. Thanking him for that one. Very happy, Joe. That's awesome. Keep me posted on how that goes, and how what it's like. Well, you can't share too much about that, but the courthouse will be amazing. I think that would be. I've had a friend volunteer at the courthouse here in my area, Central Florida, and she really loved it and got to know a lot of great people there, and got to see the inner workings of the courthouse. You never know where all that leads. So that is a major kudos, major foot in the door. So now you're gonna start running your race, Joe. And there's a lot to learn, but there's a lot to then, after a certain amount of time, that you can give. Somebody may be placed right in front of you that you have to train. And it may be that you're in the job for 2 or 3 months, and then they put somebody in front of you to train, and you're like, holy smokes. I just got here and I'm training somebody. So take them up on it and do it, because they're giving you that person for a reason. And you never know how this plays into the path that you're going down. So just those doors open up. And then you have to, this is my suggestion. Personally, I pray over those open doors, and don't try to keep opening the shut door. Remember that one, that it's shut for a reason. That I did a video on this the other day. Do we keep banging on the door that God has closed? So there are reasons why He removes you from places, why He won't let you go to some places, and why He opens the door wide to some of the places that you want to go in. So trust that, because He made you, and He knows what you're about and what's good for you. So trust in that, and be confident in that, and run the race that's your race alone, your unique race, not anybody else's. That's why I tell you, don't listen to naysayers and dream killers and people that, I mean, if my father or mother had said to me, you're not a fit for the legal field, of course it would have an impact on me, but how much confidence should I have in their opinion about that whole thing, that career? Zero. So even if a lawyer was saying to me, you're not really a fit for that law firm or for a law firm, I would say, based on what? What are you basing that on? So those type of things, those comments. I've gone into a law firm, and listen to what I'm saying here. I've gone into a law firm where I took the place of a best friend. Twice this happened to me. And I come in and everybody's mad in the whole law firm because they're mad at me because I'm taking that lady's place. And, I had to just flat out have a nice confrontation with the best friend and say, I didn't know any of that went on, and there was nothing I could do about that anyway. I'm sorry that she lost her job, but that is not anything I knew about. and I'm not going to leave this job, and I didn't. So it's cutting that off and running your good race. And it's okay to have a conversation and confrontation that is done well, not yelling, screaming, carrying on like, wild banshees. It's not that. It is being calm and peaceful, and people can rely on you to be that in the storm and not you adding to the tornado. Okay? So run that good race. Run the race that you're being pulled toward. That's the course you're being pulled toward. And it doesn't matter what race I ran, your race is going to be completely different. So trust in that, because that's your uniqueness based on your giftings that he's given you. He's given you specific strengths and more that you'll develop along the way. So Joe, I couldn't be more proud. I'm so happy for you and everybody else here who's running that race and trying hard. If you're not in the field already, trying to break into it. And also for those who are watching who are already in it, for my veteran paralegals, run that race, but make sure that's your race. And if this is not a good place for you to be, it's time to make a move and then get in that path and purpose that he has for you. All right. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. You're so welcome. I'm so proud, Joe. And keep me posted on the goings on and how it all goes. And I'll be praying for you, Joe, and everybody here. I promise that, this will be an incredible, wonderful, uplifting experience, that you will nail this job. You will get it. You will start soon and go from there. And the world is your oyster. There you go. Okay. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow in the next live. Take care. Bye.